Hey folks, welcome back. So this week is probably going to be a bit of a shorter week. Processing more broiler chickens in 2 days, so that'll be a day gone. And then usually I would have on-farm pick up the day of processing, but with everything going on right now, I'm actually doing deliveries only. So then the following day, at least probably half a day, I'll be out and about doing that. So we're losing some days that we would normally be working out here for that project. So probably a little bit shorter of a video this week. Now, as you may recall, last week we, I think, finished off the week by picking up some more white oak logs. And of course, those are what we are milling up currently to use for deck boards for the old covered bridge that currently is not covered, but we're working on trying to get that recovered here in the near future. So the first thing that we want to do for this week is bring those logs from where they're sitting on the other side of the creek over here closer to the sawmill. It would be nice if I could just bring them all over on the trailer, but I'm a little uneasy about taking the trailer with that much weight across the bridge. It's just, I don't know about that. And then the other option, of course, would be to just bring it across the creek on the crossing through there. But I tried that last week with just an empty trailer, and again, I was like, I don't think I want to try doing that with a whole bunch of weight on the trailer. So that means that we have to bring them across one by one with the skid loader. Well, I was hoping to set up the other camera on the other side there, but right as I was going over for that first log, the guys that rent the farm here to run the cattle on, they showed up, and I think they must have put out a new mineral block or something, because all the cattle were right down there. So I didn't feel it would be a very prudent idea to set up a camera right over there. So with that done and all the logs are over here, I want to go ahead and see if we can't get these tires mounted on the rims. That way we get them out of here. I mean, we could just move them off to the side and do them at some other time, but I figure we might as well just go ahead and do it right now while we're moving them so we don't have to handle them more times. Alright, so the first thing we need to do before we can start putting the tire on, get a new valve stem on here. Alright, got it all aired up, the beads seated on there, so 1 down, 3 to go. not too bad. Not too bad at all. Looks pretty good. Well, I mean, aside from the frame, that obviously still needs some work. Get that cleaned up and repainted a little bit. And it's also important that I do a halfway decent job of getting this painted up, because since I'm wanting to use this for a mobile chicken coop, chicken manure it tends to be kind of corrosive, so you really don't want to have any exposed metal or rust that's already there. You kind of want to get it cleaned up, have some paint on there, so that way hopefully stuff will kind of slide off, and it's not going to start rusting the metal quite as quickly as if it was just kind of as is. Alright, so one more thing here before we head out for today. As you can see, there's a bit of a branch right here behind me, and during the winter it's fine because there's no leaves on it. This is actually a black walnut tree, so there's no nuts, nothing like that. Hangs a couple feet higher, passes over the truck just fine. But during the spring, let's see if I can get my seasons right here, spring, summer, and fall, got a little bit more weight on it, hangs down, and every time I drive through here when I'm leaving, it scrapes the top of the truck. So we are going to get rid of that here today, finally. And as it happens, I do not have a pole saw, so I don't really have a way to reach up there, but I do have the appropriate materials to make one. So first off, here we have a very high-tech specialized pruning saw here, and if you don't have one like this, you know, you probably cannot make one of these. Next up, we have some duct tape, again very, very specialized. And then last but not least, we have a broom, again a very, very specialized piece of equipment here. And if you don't already see where this is going, you're gonna find out here in just a second. Alright, so as you can see, we have now made a pole saw. That's a little bit better. Alright, well, so far so good. All the tires seem to be holding their air pressure in there, so I think we should be good with these. Of course, since the tires were used, I had no idea if they were any good or not, but they came free with the Wagon, so I figured we might as well try them. And it looks like they're going to be alright. Alright, so next up today, we're going to try getting a little bit of milling done. It's kind of later in the afternoon already, getting a late start today, and today is actually going to be our last day for this week because I have been running around like a chicken with, oh, that might not be the best example to use since we're going to be doing some processing. I've been running around like crazy. We'll call it that. So this is going to be it for this week with what we get done today. But anyway, next up we're going to work on some logs here. Hopefully we'll get at least one or two done this afternoon here before we lose light. So without further ado, since we're already limited on time, let's get to that. Alright, well, I'm not quite sure what caused that, but the tracking got off on the one pulley there. And basically what that means is just that your blade is not running in the middle of your wheel that it runs around. It was running forward. It was on the drive side. Not quite sure why. That was kind of weird, but as I was milling, I could hear something was a little bit different with it, and then I opened it up and went, oh, well, that's probably what it is, but why it was off, I have no idea. Alright, let's go grab another log. We'll go for a little bit of a smaller one and see if we can't get that one milled up today. Alright folks, well, that's 2 logs that we got done. Still got the boards over here. I dumped the boards from the other one over by the trailer. They aren't stacked up or anything. We'll just take care of that next week, I guess. But we did manage to get 2 logs done, so that's awesome. Although they were maybe the smaller ones out of the group. But we got 3 left, so hopefully we'll get that done next week. I do know that I'll be making a run up to the feed mill next week sometime, so that'll take a little bit out of next week for getting stuff done around here. But hopefully I should be able to get at least a couple more of these logs done next week as well. I haven't heard anything from the window place yet, so hopefully might be getting those. I don't know. If I don't hear anything from him sometime in the near future, I'll give him a call, make sure that my order hasn't gotten lost or something like that. But other than that, that's kind of all I know of that is probably going to be going on for next week's video. So, as always, I appreciate you guys watching, and I will see you next time.